Hi, today we're going to talk about how to saw wood straight. If you're going to make any project at home, even with the most basic tools, if you only have a saw, so great, we need to cut straight to get a square box. How are we going to do that? So we're going to need a saw. This is a cheap Chinese saw. You'll find it in any hardware store. They're very good, they work very nicely. We're also going to need a sharp pencil. We're going to need a tape measure and 90-degree angle. So choose a piece of wood. I've got 4 pieces here to build a box, and I need to cut them square. I take my meter and I want my box to be 30 centimeters. I take my nice newly sharpened pencil and I make a mark on 30 centimeters. It's about 12 inches. Now with my 90-degree angle, I put it on the square edge here. Make sure it's flush. I'll show you from this side. Make sure this is flush. If it's like this, it's not square. And hold it firmly in place, bring it up to the mark, and mark a line. Now, I want to bring that line around here, because I want not just to be square in this plane, I also want to be square here. So now, I bring my square up to the line, and mark a new line, and I'm going to do the same on this edge. Bring it up, and mark the line. This is what I don't want. This is my waste, my scrap. So I'll mark it, so I remember this is my scrap. Now before we start sawing the wood, we need to hold it firmly. Don't start putting your knee on the work, or it's all going to wobble around, you're going to end up cutting your fingers. So we need to hold the work firmly. I have a vise here, and I can hold the work inside the vise firmly like this. If you don't have a vise, maybe you have some clamps. So if you have a clamp, firmly clamp the work down onto your workbench. If you don't have a workbench, wait till the missus goes out and use the kitchen table. Just remember to sweep up the sawdust before she gets back. So now it's held nice and firmly. I put 2 clamps so it doesn't spin around on an axis. Okay, this is your saw. Just have a look down your saw and see if it's straight. If it's not very straight, so get a straight saw. They're not expensive. I need to cut on the waist side of my line. If I cut the line, I'm going to be 1 millimeter or so smaller than my measurement. Okay, if I cut on this side of the line, I'm going to be the whole thickness of the saw or less, which could be 2 millimeters. So I put the saw next to the line and draw it towards me, like this, and start to make a groove. And you see the line just about stays there. Now I have a look down here on this edge and make sure, with some gentle saw strokes, that the line remains. Hold the saw firmly. Some people like to put their finger like this. It's more accurate. I don't actually like doing that, but a lot of my students do. So you hold the saw like this, pull it back towards you. I'm using my thumb just to keep it in line, and use the whole length of your saw and slowly, slowly lie it back onto the pencil line here on the top. And you can see the line remains and the cut is next to it. Now, when there's a lot of teeth like now inside the cut, it's hard work. So you can rock the saw backwards and forwards like this, and the groove that we've made is going to now direct the saw straight and at 90 degrees, so that our cut will be straight and at 90 degrees. Now again, on the back of the board here, I've got a 90-degree mark that I made. So I want to make sure that I continue on at 90 degrees down here. I just rock the saw down a bit, and now I rock it inside the cut, using the whole length of the saw, and just towards the end of the cut, just hold on to that piece so it doesn't fall off. Now just open the clamps. We just check it for square, We can see it's 90 degrees in this direction, that it's 90 degrees in this direction. Now we can make a nice square box with square cuts. We're not going to do the box today. In the next video, I'll show you how we can join the box together in the corners or using nails or screws. Very simple techniques that everyone can do at home.